Hello, I am here, so I am gonna read today Nate the Great and the Sticky Case. Today, this friend will read together. Nate the Great was drying out from the rain. I was sitting under a blanket and reading a detective book. My dog, Sludge, was sniffing it. I was on page 33. When I heard a knock, I opened the door. Cloud was there. I lost my best dinosaur, Cloud said. He was always losing things. This is your biggest loss yet, I said. A dinosaur is huge. How could you lose it? My dinosaur is small, Cloud said. It is Stegosaurus on a stamp. Can you help me find it? It is hard to find. Something that small, I said. This will be a big case, but I will take it. Tell me, where was the Stegosaurus stamp the last time you saw it? It was on the table in my house, Cloud said. I was showing all my dinosaur stamps to my friends. The Stegosaurus stamp was my favorite. Who are your friends? I asked. Annie, Pip, Rosamond, and you. But you weren't there, Cloud added. Good thinking, I said. I need the Great will go to your house and look at your table. I wrote a note to my mother. Cloud and I went to his house. He did not lose his way. He showed me his table. It has stamps all over it. Here are all of my stamps, Cloud said, except for the Stegosaurus stamp. I need the Great saw a Tyrannosaurus stamp. I saw a Brontosaurus. I saw a Brontosaurus stamp. I saw an Inchiosaurus stamp. I saw claws and jaws. The stamps were ugly, but that did not matter. I had a case to solve. I had a job to do. Where was the Stegosaurus stamp when it was on the table? I asked. Near the edge, Cloud said. It must have fallen off, I said. I looked on the floor near the table. The Stegosaurus stamp was not there. I picked up a stamp and showed it to Sludge. We must look for a lost stamp, I said. Sometimes Sludge is not a great detective. He tried to leak the sticky side of stamp. Look, don't leak, I said. Sludge and I looked over, under, and around everything. In Cloud's house, then we looked again. We did not find the Stegosaurus stamp. I, Nate the Great, turned to Cloud. The Stegosaurus stamp is not in your house, I said. Tell me, when did you notice the stamp was missing? After everybody left, Cloud said. Did everybody leave together? I asked. Yes, said Cloud. Did everybody come together? I asked. No, said Cloud. Annie and Rosamond came to tell me that Rosamond was going to have a yard sale. Then it started to rain. It rained for a long time. So Annie and Rosamond stayed and looked at my stamps. When the rain stopped, Pip came over. He looked at my stamps too. Then they all left together to go to Rosamond's yard sale. Then I, Nate the Great, must go to the yard sale too, I said. I must speak to everyone who was in the room with the Stegosaurus stamp. Sludge and I went to Rosamond's house. Rosamond was standing in her yard with her 4 cats under a sign. Are you selling your cats? I asked. No, Rosamond said. I'm selling all sweeping empty tuna fish cans, slippers, spare cat hairs, toothbrushes, picture of milk spoons, and all sorts of things. Sludge was sniffing. Do you have a Stegosaurus stamp? I asked. No, Rosamond said, but I saw one at Cloud Cells, near the edge of his table. Thank you, I said. I started to leave. Please buy a cat hair from my yard sale, Rosamond called. They are only a penny each. I Nate the Great did not want a cat hair, but I gave Rosamond a penny. I will buy 1 cat hair. I said. I will give you an extra one free. Rosamond said, Do you want hair from big hacks, little hacks, pain hacks, or super hacks? Surprise me, I said. Rosamond took a hair from a box that was marked big hacks, and a hair from a box that was marked super hacks. She stuck the hair to a piece of tapes. So you won't lose them, she said. Sometimes Rosamond has strange ideas. This was one of them. I saw Pip looking at some empty tuna fish cans. Did you see a Stegosaurus stamp at the edge of Cloud's table? I asked. Pip doesn't say much. He shook his head up and down. Do you know where is it now? I asked. Pip shook his head sideways. Thank you, I said. I saw Annie and her dog Fang. I'm looking for Cloud's Stegosaurus stamp, I said. What do you know about it? I know that the Stegosaurus is pretty, Annie said. I know that it looks just like Fang. Annie turned towards Fang. Show us your Stegosaurus smile, she said. Fang opened his mouth. I Nate the Great knew it was time to go home. I said goodbye to Annie. Sludge and I walked home slowly. It was a good walk. There were raindrops on the tree leaves. We saw ourselves in puddles. We sniffed the clean air. We saw a rainbow. At home, I made some pancakes. I gave Sludge a bone. We ate and thought. Where was the Stegosaurus stamp? Nobody knew. But the stamp was gone. This was a sticky case. I Nate the Great was stuck. Then I thought, perhaps there is something different about a Stegosaurus stamp. Perhaps I should think about the Stegosaurus instead of the stamp. Suddenly, I felt great. I had pancake in my stomach and a great idea in my head. Wait here, Sludge, I said. I have to go look for information. I went to the museum. I saw a Stegosaurus there. I had to look up and up and up. The Stegosaurus was big. He was bigger than Fang. His smile was uglier, but he could not move. He could not do anything. I, Nate the Great, was glad about that. I learned about the Stegosaurus. He was a giant lizard. He lived a long time ago. He had two brains. I, Nate the Great, wished that I had two brains, and then one of them would solve this case. I walked home. The sign of rain were gone except for some puddles. Then I thought heard. What did I know about Stegosaurus stamp? I knew that Annie and Rosamond went to Cloud's house and saw the stamp. Then it rained for a long time. I knew that after the rain stopped, Pip went to Cloud's house and saw the stamp too. I knew the stamp had been at the edge of Cloud's table. I knew it was not in Cloud's house now. How did it get out? And where was it? Seeing the big Stegosaurus, had not helped the case. Perhaps I had been thinking wrong. Perhaps I had forgotten that there were two sides to every stamp. Perhaps I should think about the sticky side instead of the Stegosaurus side. Think sticky, I said. When I walked inside, I saw Sarge. Sarge was licking his dog ball. He had not been much help of this case. Or had he? I remembered when Sarge tried to lick the stinky side of a stamp. Such wet tongue would have made the stamp very stinky. A very stinky stamp. Stinks! Suddenly, I knew that Sarge was a great detective. He knew that the sticky side of the stamp could be important. I, Nate the Great, knew that anything wet would make a stamp very stinky. I thought of wet things. I thought of drip and drops. I thought of rain. When Annie and Rosamond went to Cloud's house, it was not raining. But when Pip went to Cloud's house, it had been raining and stopped. Raindrops were on the trees. Puddles were on the sidewalk. I, Nate the Great, thought of puddles. I thought of Pip stepping in them. I thought of stamp from my desk and put it on the floor. I went outside and stamped in a few puddles. Then I went back inside and stamped the stinky side of the stamp. The stamp stuck to my shoe. Then the same thing must have happened to the Stegosaurus stamp and Pip's shoe. At Cloud's house, Sludge had given me the clue I needed. Now I knew that I had to see Pip's shoes. We went to Pip's house. I rang the bell. Pip opened the door. He looked down at his feet. I looked down at his feet. He was wearing slippers. Where are your shoes? I asked. Pip looked around at his feet. He opened his mouth. Then he said, My shoes are all wet from the rain. After I left Cloud's house, I swapped them for a pair of dry slippers at Rosamond's yard sale. I took the slippers off the swamp table and put my shoes there. Thank you, I said. Sudge and I went back to Rosamond's yard sale. I went to the sum table. The stinky case is almost over, I said. But Pip's shoes were not there. Rosamond came over. I hope you don't want to swallow your cat hairs, she said. I want Pip's shoes. I said, where are they? I just sold them to Annie for 10 cents, Rosamond said. It was my big sale of the day. Sudge and I ran to Annie's house. She was outside with Frank. I saw 2 shoes. One was on the ground, and the other was in Frank's mouth. Are those Pip's shoes? I asked. They were, Annie said. I bought them for Fang to chew. I made the grate so the bottom of the shoe Fang was chewing. Something small, square, and dirty were stuck to it. At last, I had found the Stegosaurus stamp, but I made the grate knew that finding was not anything. Getting was important too. I thought fast. Show me Fang's Stegosaurus smile, I said. Smile, Fang, Annie said. Fang smiled. The shoe fell to the ground. I picked it up. I made the grate, peeled off the stamp. The case was solved. We took the Stegosaurus stamp to Cloud's house. The stamp was dirty, sticky, inky, icky, and ugly, but Cloud was happy to get it. Sudge and I walked home. We are careful not to step in any puddles. The end. Thank you for reading this story. I will see you next time.